On October 14, 2017, the Porch Light at 208 Maple Lane in Havenbrook, Ohio, stayed on long after midnight. A small but unsettling detail that stuck in the minds of neighbors. Everyone in Havenbrook knew the Johnsons were early sleepers. Marie Johnson, 42, a nurse at the local hospital, was known for her strict bedtime routine. Her husband, Carl, a substitute teacher and amateur woodworker, usually turned off the porch light by 10 p.m. sharp. But that night, it burned bright like a beacon or a warning. By morning, Marie was missing. Havenbrook was the kind of American town that still held bake sales and left doors unlocked. Nestled between cornfields and crumbling steel towns, it had managed to keep its innocence longer than most. But underneath the picturesque calm were the slow, silent pressures of a town trying to ignore its economic decay, rising addiction rates, and the slow unraveling of trust. Marie and Carl Johnson were the kind of couple everyone nodded to at church and saw at Friday night football games. No enemies, no scandals. So when Marie didn't show up for her 6 a.m. shift at St. Luke's Hospital, her co-workers immediately called Carl. He didn't answer. The police arrived by 7:45 a.m. Officer Danielle Morales, newly transferred from Cleveland, was the first to arrive. What she saw behind the Johnsons' white-paneled garage door haunted her for years. Blood, a smear across the concrete floor, a set of footprints, one small pool, then nothing. No Marie, no signs of forced entry, no Carl. It took detectives only hours to declare the house a crime scene. A bolo, be on the lookout, alert was issued for Carl Johnson and Marie Johnson. But even by evening, the police weren't sure who was a victim and who might be a suspect. In towns like Havenbrook, news doesn't travel by media. It moves in whispers. Marie's sister, Janet Fowler, spoke to investigators the next morning. Marie was tired lately, she said. Not just work tired. Carl was different, distant. She thought maybe he was seeing someone, or hiding something. The whisper became a rumor. Carl had a secret life. The whisper turned into outrage when surveillance footage surfaced of Carl's truck pulling out of the driveway at 3:12 a.m. the night Marie vanished. Alone, or so it seemed. By day 5, Havenbrook had turned inward. Neighbors stopped answering calls from reporters. Journalists camped at the town diner. Internet sleuths combed through social media posts. Carl's old students started posting vague memories. Odd comments, strange behavior, maybe something about woodworking tools. But then, Carl's truck was found, abandoned on a back road 20 miles outside of town. Inside, they found Marie's phone and Carl's wallet, and a letter. I didn't mean for any of this, but they wouldn't stop. They kept coming. I just wanted quiet. Signed C. The letter threw the case wide open. Theories exploded. Was Carl paranoid? Was someone harassing them? Was there a third person involved? 10 days after the disappearance, a hunter found a shallow grave just off Route 16. Inside, Marie Johnson. Blunt force trauma, fingernail scratches on her arms, defensive wounds, her wedding ring still on. Carl became the nation's most wanted man overnight. It took a retired FBI profiler, Angela Reed, to finally suggest a pattern. Carl fits the classic profile of an over-controlled offender, she told local news. People who suppress rage until it erupts, usually against those they love. 3 weeks after the murder, Carl Johnson was found alive, hiding in a hunting cabin owned by a high school friend. He hadn't run far. Carl's interrogation was released publicly as part of the court record. The footage went viral. It wasn't supposed to happen, Carl mumbled. She found the photos of the girls from my school. It was years ago, just pictures, but she said she'd leave. Said she'd tell the board. Marie had discovered Carl had been secretly photographing female students years earlier. No arrests were ever made, but the shame was enough. She said I was sick, and maybe I am, but I couldn't lose her. I snapped. The courtroom was packed. The prosecution painted Carl as a predator who killed to silence a whistleblower. The defense tried to frame it as a crime of passion. But the most powerful moment came from Marie's mother, Susan, during her victim impact statement. He stole not just Marie from us, he stole our trust in people, in teachers, in husbands. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Verdict: guilty. First-degree murder. Life without parole. 5 years later, the Porch Light at 208 Maple Lane still turns on every October 14th. Marie's sister lives in the house now. She keeps the light on not as a warning, but as a memory. Havenbrook changed. It locked its doors. It questioned what it thought it knew about its own people. But it also came together through grief and through truth. Because sometimes the real horror isn't in what happens. It's in realizing how well someone can hide.